Recently, public education has become one of the most contested topics in the country. And within education, urban school reform is the most conflicted issue. While all Americans can agree that the urban schools need to be improved, they are dangerously divided about what needs to be done and by whom. If we are to understand school reform, we might look at Mary Catherine Bateson's work, and she tells us that people live through stories and talk through metaphors. And even Aristotle said, midway between the unknown and the known is metaphor, and metaphor produces knowledge. So I want you for a minute to think about the words and the stories and the images that your children are bringing home from school. And I would also like you to think about what you think from your observations in schools. What are you hearing, seeing, imaging? I'd like to share with you 3 experiences of urban educators that I have worked with. First of all, I'd like to talk about Eagle High School and Henry Richards. Henry is the principal of a 2,200 student high school, mostly attended by Hispanics, African Americans, and Asians. And he told me that there is a dragon in his school backyard. In fact, he said there were 2. There was a relevancy dragon, a relationship dragon that lived between children and teachers in the classroom. But outside, there was that testing dragon, and it breathed fire. And if he didn't attend to that dragon, he knew it would wipe out all the relationships, wipe out all the relevancy, and it would make testing and accountability the sole aim and purpose of education. I want to take you for a minute to Hardy Academy. And the metaphor there I'd like to speak about is dueling banjos. Hardy Academy is a historical Black community. It's a historical Black school, and it has the African Americans and Hispanics mostly as the students there. Now, there's two reforms there, and the teachers call it a dueling reform situation. On one hand, one banjo, science. On the other hand, whole school reform using literacy to improve all students in all subjects. The science reform wants the students to be workers in local industry. The literacy reform wants to help them in every subject area and give them the choice to choose what career they might like. And then there's the teachers. They agree with the latter one. And so there's this conflict always going on because the science reform has a great deal more money. The third example I'd like to share with you comes from T.P. Yeager Middle School, and it's Butterfly Under a Pin. T.P. Yeager Middle School is located on one of the longest streets in Texas, and it covers a whole city block. In that school is a teacher called Laura Curtis, and she told me that she feels captured like a butterfly under a pin. She's a fine teacher, but she can't teach what she wants. She has to do what the paid consultant tells her to do. And she wonders whether at any time her professional judgment and her ability to respond to the children in front of her will ever be taken into account, as opposed to teaching all children as if they're all the same. You know, Jerome Bruner, the child psychologist, he told us if we spend so much time on standardized testing and looking at league tables, and we don't pay attention to people's experiences, all lives narrow. And Donald Schoen told us, he said, when we have an experience we haven't ever had before, we automatically go to some metaphor, because metaphor produces knowledge, it produces meaning, and it's precisely what scientists use to make discoveries. And the teachers and principals are using metaphors to discover what urban school reform about. So I hope what I've shared with you tonight has given you some insights into urban school reform. These are some things my doctoral students and I are working on. We know we need to listen to the stories that people are telling us of their experiences of school reform. And we also know that the public needs to start to listen to the experiences that children and teachers and so forth are bringing home. And lastly, we need to figure out how to have a conversation across difference. Because if we can't have a conversation across difference, we are never going to have robust and really rich school experiences for all children. Thank you.